SolidWorks, parts, drawings, and assemblies are all fully associative. And this means that if I update a part that's included in an assembly or drawing, those will update as well. And if I update the part from either the drawing or the assembly, it'll update in the part document as well. I have 3 files open right now. Plate A complete, which is in the complete folder of the introductions folder, and the other 2 are just in the introductions folder, Plate A assembly and Plate A drawing. Right now I have these tiled horizontally so I can see all 3, and if you click on one, it'll activate it, and I want to just go into File and go to Find References. So you can see this shows the references that the Plate A assembly has, and we can see that this follows the path down to this Plate A complete. So as long as this document can find the Plate A complete, when I make a change to this Plate A, for example, making this wider, when I go ahead and change over to the assembly, I can see that that's now updated to the wider dimension. And similarly, that drawing has updated as well, and you can now see the change in the dimension that we have. I can also update from within the assembly. If I double click on a part, it'll bring up the feature dimensions, and if I rebuild this, I can revert this back to that old dimension. And I could also, for example, change the thickness and update that. And that's going to update both the part once again and the drawing. If I have all of these active at the same time when I do update the part file, this will either automatically rebuild to that new size, or in the drawing you'll see a cross-hatched pattern indicating that the drawing's not up to date. And in those cases, you can simply hit the rebuild button and that'll update. You can also update the dimensions of this part from the drawing if you have what's called model items inserted in. And I won't go into this in too much detail as this is covered in the drawing section. But you'll notice that the model item dimensions are black, indicating that if I do double click, I should be able to change this directly in the drawing, whereas these gray dimensions are driven and cannot be changed. And we can see these have updated in both of these files as well. Keep in mind also that if you have all of these open, if you do a save as, the references will still be maintained. So if I change the name of this part, this is going to update within the drawing and assembly as well. And those file reference updates will be saved if you save it out, and they'll be discarded, and it'll revert back to the old file name if you close these documents out and then reopen them.